Good afternoon. You call it as a midday madness. It was quite humid, hot and sunny. I decided to step out for a run and walk. I just carried some electrolyte. Today I was thinking about something. Since the lockdown has begun, life is kind of in a big spin for most of us. Especially some of my friends who are working in the corporate offices and businesses. They're working, all right? Whenever I call them during the weekday, whenever I get an opportunity to interact with them, I get to hear a very similar response. Just I'm busy in a meeting, can I call you back later? Or I'm just in between two meetings, I have a couple of minutes to talk to you. Or, oh my God, I have another meeting to kill. Or if you call any of them in the evening, the response that I get is, oh my God, the entire day was filled with meeting and it's very exhausting. I wish the time before the lockdown, I wanted to go to office. I get some break time, but now this is really killing. I'm just hopping between meeting to meeting. Now, even I am in a similar situation. So my job as a coach is to interact with my clients. But I have a different take on this topic. I think every time you're talking to somebody, a client of yours or a potential customer, or maybe you're in the services industry, discussing with your team members about your project, you're actually communicating. If you're a manager, if you're the leader of an organization, if your responsibility is to integrate teams and projects and businesses, if you're a salesman, you're talking to your potential clients, you're making some cold calls, your job is to communicate. No doubt, you're paid for that. Instead of talking about meeting to meeting, hopping between meeting versus meeting, and getting frustrated about the current scenario, why don't the situation be like this? Why don't you talk about the value that you're creating? Why don't you talk about the opportunities that you're creating for the business that you're associated with? Why don't you talk about how engaging conversation you had with a colleague of yours to inspire this person to take up something, or maybe to motivate? Or why don't you talk about, I had a great meeting, I actually shared some knowledge with one of my friends or colleagues, and instead of just talking about meeting is just part of our life. Meeting is an opportunity given to you for communicate and also create some value. Or to make sure that the business doesn't collapse, you want to maintain the status quo. I think that's the most amazing thing that as an employee of an organization, all of you can do. Don't get frustrated. The COVID is not going to go. In India, we are just seeing a large iceberg. We have not even reached the tip of it. Things are going to get messier than what it is. Working from home is going to become a norm, and it's going to become a lifestyle. I know managing familial commitments and also work may sound stressful. I'm not going to debate on how stressful your day can get to. But instead of just worrying about meetings to meeting, please, my friends, think about the value that you're creating. Think about how beautiful opportunity God has given you to still continue with your job, but at the same time creating a lot of value for the stakeholders, all the stakeholders. Doesn't matter, and also creating something amazing for yourself. But I'm sure, like all difficult times in life, this is going to go away very soon. I learned such experiences by running marathons and ultramarathons. Every marathon is like a complicated coronavirus lockdown time. So you just start with a little bit of excitement, anxiety. You get to the thick of action, everything looks complicated. But when you're approaching the finish line, the bliss is yours. And when you reach the finish line, the celebrations are going to be there. Now, to make the day very exciting, you can start the day by going out for a 10 minutes run or a jog. You can just go step out, do some spot jog, do some skipping rope, do some push-ups. Learn how to do that. There are plenty of resources available online. You can learn how to do squats, you can do a plank, you can do some core exercises. A lot of different ways you can find excitement throughout the day. In fact, I Some of the days I step out like this in the afternoon. Okay, you can always say that I'm privileged entrepreneur, but this is something that I'm creating for myself. It's easy to preach, but I'm following this. I think it is possible because most of you are locked up at home, and you can find that little 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute time to do some small exercises. Drink plenty of water, be active throughout the day, do some exercises to strengthen your back, because most of the folks who are sitting, their job is to sit, will end up breaking the back, creating a lot of stresses in the lower back and neck and all kind of issues to follow. And then you blame the job for kind of creating such problems. The job is not a problem. The way your behavior habits throughout the day can determine how fit and how active you can be. And also when you exercise, this is like a small SIP, systematic investment plan. It's like a mutual fund. You're investing with a lot of hope and trust. One day it's going to grow bigger. It's going to make sure that you're staying away from diseases. And if you also look at coronavirus, it's affecting a lot of people who have comorbidities. Okay, so pre-existing illness. They are the people who do not have the fighting power to fight this stupid virus that we are all dealing with. But now by being active and eating healthy food, you are basically developing a lot of immunity, strength, and confidence to fight against any complicated diseases that you may have to encounter in the life. So, my friends, when I call you next time, never say you're just come out of a meeting or you're going to get into a meeting or it's going to be a hard day for you because you have multiple meetings lined up. Share the excitement of creating value in the organizations and stay fit, stay active. Let's fight this coronavirus and the lockdown together. See ya.